Hey everyone, Kevin here once again with my 1, 2, 3 cents. I'm going to talk about a date in wrestling, well, that we thought was going to live in wrestling infamy, 2/21/11. I don't know that it necessarily will be an infamous day or a day that will live in infamy, but I do think that it got a lot of buzz leading up to it, no pun intended, because folks thought that Sting was going to be debuting in the WWE. I've been watching some other videos and listening to the comments being made and reading some blogs and Twitter feeds and whatnot. And a lot of people upset that the 2/21/11 promo led us to this man, the Undertaker, and this man, the Game, Triple H. Now, I wasn't surprised. I had commented on it and blogged about it over the last couple of weeks. Now, initially, 3 weeks ago when the promos first started running, I did go out on a limb and say that it was Skip Sheffield. I thought it was a different kind of gimmick and a different kind of promo for him and a way to reintroduce him. If you want to see my whole logic behind that, go back and watch that tape. But 3 weeks ago, I was thinking something completely different. After some speculation and just thinking about it and thinking logically about it, it could really only be Triple H. I mean, we knew it was The Undertaker. We knew he was one half of that promo, but there was somebody else outside. A lot of folks thought it was Sting. A lot of folks wanted it to be Sting. I'm one of them. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to see Sting in the WWE. But it's not logical. It doesn't make any sense to have him come in that way to wrestle with The Undertaker or to be in The Undertaker's corner or tag team with him at WrestleMania, as some people had thought too. The Undertaker and Sting have no history together. They wrestled each other 20 plus years ago when Sting was WCW World Champion and The Undertaker was still Mean Mark Callis in WCW. Of course, Undertaker left shortly, or Mark left shortly after that, went to the WWF and became The Undertaker, and the rest, as they say, is history. They've had no other contact with each other since that incident, almost 21 years ago. Triple H, on the other hand, has history with The Undertaker. He's got a lot of history with him, and it's not just going back to their match 10 years ago at WrestleMania. A lot has changed over the last 10 years. I think that's what will make this match at WrestleMania interesting. Also, think back to when The Undertaker was a heel and had kidnapped Stephanie McMahon and was going to sacrifice her and marry her. I don't remember the exact storyline, but it was something along those lines where there was going to be a black wedding and Stone Cold Steve Austin made the save. This was back in the Ministry days, in the Ministry of Darkness, and I'm not sure if the corporate ministry had played a role in this too or not. But, Triple H, of course, now is married to Stephanie. I don't know if they'll bring that into this storyline or not, but there's definitely a history with that aspect too. And then, of course, the most recent thing to happen, last year, The Undertaker retired Triple H's best buddy, Shawn Michaels, effectively ending D-Generation X once and for all. So it would only make sense that Triple H wants to seek some kind of revenge, if not for his first loss to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 17, or if not for the incident involving his future wife, Stephanie, back in '99, I think it was. Then why not be there to avenge his buddy Shawn Michaels? Other criticisms that I've seen, people complaining that they didn't beat each other up. There was no confrontation. There was no fight. Undertaker didn't chokeslam Triple H, and Triple H didn't beat The Undertaker with a sledgehammer. I'm glad they didn't touch each other. I thought that segment, considering what we have to play with here, that segment was next to perfect in my opinion, and here's why. You don't want these two guys touching each other. I don't want to see any WrestleMania opponents in the ring with each other or tag teaming with each other, John Cena and Miz, until WrestleMania. I don't want to see the fights. I don't want to see any kind of confrontation in the ring with these guys, because it takes away the specialness once they do get into the ring. Triple H and The Undertaker last night got in each other's faces. They didn't touch each other. They didn't say a word to each other. But they told a story. What they did spoke volumes for the future of WWE as far as WrestleMania goes. And I also like the fact that we didn't have Michael Cole and Josh Matthews out on commentary scrutinizing every movement that was going on in the ring. They kept their mouths closed, which is exactly what they should have done, and they let the action inside the ring tell the story. And I know some people criticize that, but to me, that was great. And really, if you looked at the list of top contenders in the WWE now, because Batista's gone and Shawn Michaels is gone, they've both faced The Undertaker in the past. Randy Orton's already been there, done that with The Undertaker. John Cena and Triple H, really, if you think about it, are the only other two guys on the card right now, or on the roster right now, that could pose a threat to the streak. And the streak really, if you get down to it, the streak has really kind of outlasted or outshined the value of the world title match and the WWE Championship matches. And I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing. But when people start thinking about WrestleMania, they start thinking about who is The Undertaker going to wrestle and is the streak going to come to an end. And I think that throwing Triple H into the mix throws in a legitimate guy who could actually end the streak. We don't know at this point what's going to happen, what the intentions are going to be, what kind of special stipulations are going to be added to the match. There have been thoughts and rumors that it's going to be career versus streak once again, with Triple H saying that if he loses, he'll retire, and throwing Shawn Michaels in there as a special guest referee. So I don't know. It's too early to determine that. We've still got, about 5.5 weeks until WrestleMania. So we'll wait and see what the card shapes up to be like. But I would say right now, that's going to be your main event. Unless they throw The Rock into this Miz match with John Cena somehow, which I don't think they will. I kind of hope they don't. So I think that Triple H versus The Undertaker is going to be your kind of money match, your big match. It's got two marquee names, and there's so much on the line with The Undertaker's streak, and especially then if they throw Triple H's career on the line as well. So, again, I am disappointed it wasn't Sting. I know a lot of people are. I want to know, though, are you disappointed that it's Sting? Are you happy to see a Triple H Undertaker rematch? Because that's where we are headed for WrestleMania. And I'm not a big fan of the WrestleMania rematches, but this one, there's been a decade in between. I can accept this. Considering what we have roster-wise, talent-wise, I can go with this, because the only other option really would be Cena versus The Undertaker. So I'd like to know what your 1, 2, 3 cents are. That's my 1, 2, 3 cents. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.